This is the first big abortion case that new Justices Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh get to weigh in on. And many are assuming they're going to give the court a conservative and maybe even pro-life majority. And some 207 lawmakers here on Capitol Hill are asking the court to use this case to reconsider the very rulings, like Roe v. Wade, that gave the nation legalized abortion nationwide.
This is a case where the court can revisit the Roe v. Wade regime and should revisit that regime.
Catherine Glenn Foster helped write the brief those lawmakers signed.
This is something that that for nearly 50 years has led to the deaths of countless innocent, vulnerable human beings, has injured and even killed, sadly, tragically, so many of their mothers. And it's time for the court to revisit this.
The High Court will hear a case from Louisiana that would require abortion doctors to obtain hospital admitting privileges.
Opponents of the law say it's incredibly restrictive, and it's going to make it hard for Louisiana women to get abortions there. But those who support the law say all it's basically doing is insisting that abortion doctors have admitting privileges to a local hospital in case one of their patients gets into an emergency or has medical complications.
There's this exemption for abortion. For anyone who's performing an abortion, all of a sudden the same rules don't apply. And really, it is a situation where you have an abortion business fighting for the right to abandon their patients.
Dr. Lilback's Westminster Theological Seminary went to court against Obamacare regulations, forcing it to pay for abortion-causing contraceptives.
And they said, well, it's easy. You just have to pay $2 million a year in fines.
So off to court went the seminary and allied groups like Little Sisters of the Poor.
And it ended up going all the way to the Supreme Court. And something happened that's never happened in the history of the court, as far as I understand. They said, we can't solve this problem, and they gave it back to the contestants.
The legal fight finally ended after the newly elected Trump administration reversed course, giving the pro-lifers a legal victory, even paying the legal bills.
And I've had to laugh. A nonprofit organization, the separation of church and state, we got paid by the government for our conscience sake. It's a wonderful story of God's providential care.
Lilback believes pro-life legal victories can help land blows against Roe v. Wade.
Of course, we long for the courts to say Roe v. Wade was a bad decision. You can't find abortion rights in the Constitution.
But he says it's more important that everyone keep fighting on all fronts and change the American culture.
We're moving in the right direction. And so I think our battle is one day at a time, one decision at a time, one life rescued at a time.
Until we can come to the point where we really can say that America is a pro-life nation. And again, we are seeing culture shifting. We're seeing a move as the younger generation especially demands authenticity and transparency and says, hang on, if we're going to protect our neighbors, if we're going to protect our fellow citizens, why doesn't that extend to our fellow citizens, our neighbors in the womb, the most vulnerable among us?
Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from the Supreme Court.